Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video. And with the recent manual update that is available for the game, so if you go to the Apple Store or the Google Play Store, you can choose to update the game now, or you can just wait until it forces you to do that, probably tomorrow. Either way. But if you choose to do it now, you will have access to the new change secret skill type that they have been talking about for a couple weeks now. So, reading this, you can change the secret skill type for certain characters. Doing so will change the secret skill's properties. Changes will require magicules. However, changes can be made without consuming magicules on the first time for any character. So you get one freebie per character, and after that, if you want to change them back, that's going to cost some magicules. So we've pulled up Fount of Wisdom Hinata. Now again, this only applies to characters who get upgraded to EXU. So characters who currently exist as an EX Unbound, like say this Lumi, she's not going to have this ability, right? She already has a dedicated attack alt, or let's say Divine General Diablo has a dedicated support alt. They're not allowing you to change EX Unbound rarity characters. You are going to be able to change all of the characters who can get upgraded to said levels. So New Year's Rimuru, he's pretty common. So he has this change. So currently he's an attack alt, single target 520%. His 200% EX alt is just 1.5 times damage, but if you were to change that, it now drops down to 250% single target, but then gives New Year's Blessing characters 20% weakness strike. And then if you were to do an EX, it would be 40%. Okay, so that's force-based. Let's take a look at Blanc here. I have no clue why you would do it to Blanc, but you certainly can. Change secret skill, 250 primal demon. Okay, so they are force based for these. What about Xion? Because she's not an she didn't start as an EX character. So 310 AoE space magic, and then 620 if it's an EX. 135%. That's even worse than a new EX Unbound because they do 150. Increases weakness strike of space characters by 15%. Okay. And then, what's the other Daggerel? He is Octagram. So currently 310%, EX damage double that. 150, weakness strike of Earth by 30%. Okay, so we have what looks like 3 different types of scenarios. You have an EX unit that got upgraded, and they're going to buff whatever primary force they were on. So this Shuna is going to buff probably Goddess of Destiny only. Okay, yeah, right there, Goddess of Destiny. And then this Milim will do Summer Memories. Summer Memories right there. Okay, and then this Albus will be another Fount of Wisdom buffer. Fount of Wisdom. Okay, so if they came out as an EX, when you get to level 120 and you can choose to swap between attack and support alts, they're going to support their primary force. If they are an old 5-star character, so like if Trainee were to get an EX Unbound Awakening and such, she would be buffing her main element, which is wind. Or, when Space Milim, where is she? Or Dark Milim, when they get their EX upgrades, they're going to buff Dark Element or Space Element, depending on which Milim you're talking about. And then for Octagram characters, let's go all the way down to Leon. And then skill, I can't do that. Never mind. Let's go to Milim then. Milim. There you are. Is it even going to give me that option? No, because she's not 120. Okay, I wonder if I can... Okay, here we go. So as an attack alt, 580%. As a support, 250, and then 50% for space. So the Octagram characters, because they cost a bit more time to do, it looks like they're going to buff the element that they are, but higher. Now, I think I saw from one of the sweats that Leon actually buffs space as well, which is very confusing because he's light. But so I don't really know how all the Octagram characters are going to work once they get it. but we do see that it is a higher percentage than the other normal 5-star characters. 50% for the Space Millum versus what did Shion do? 15%? Yeah, 15%. So very much different as far as percentage wise. But we have the three scenarios. You're an Octagram character who's getting upgraded, you're going to buff it by a lot. You're an old 5-star character, you're going to buff your element by a little bit. And if you're a 5-star EX character, you're going to buff your primary force by 20%. And this only applies to characters who are level 120, who receive their EX upgrades. And let's check the hero really fast. How much do you cost? Just, I'm going to find out. So let's change this to support. For the first time, you can do it for free. So, okay, let's change her to a support alt. And now it's a support alt. 130% face physical. 15% weakness strike for space characters. Let's change it back. It costs 50,000. Okay, that's not very expensive. Does it increase in cost every time you do it? No. Okay. So 50,000 Magicules to change after the first initial change. So if we were to go to now Carrion, we can change him for free because you get one for every character for free. Is it necessary for you to do that? Like, a lot of these characters are nukers. Millum, Hinata, Blanc, New Year's Rimuru, Goddess Shuna, Millum. Like, these are all dedicated DPS characters for their meta. So does it make sense to change their ults around? Not really, because if you're going to put them on a team, they're going to be the nuker and everyone else is going to try and support them. So making them do less damage doesn't do a lot for you. Albus, the hero, Carrion, Mirren, like characters like that, yeah, sure. You could change the support ults, because if I'm doing Albus, it's to make sure that Hinata can do more damage, because Albus is already a support character for Hinata, so she would just become an even better one, technically. So while I think the concept is cool, and it does open up possibilities, is it the most necessary thing? Not really. These percentages, apart from the Octagram ones, they're not amazingly high. It's not as high as an EX Unbound character would get to at any point. So I wouldn't really feel bad. Like, people are going to be like, oh, it's only for the whales because they only have the dupes, and it's like, I'm not going to do them for all the characters anyways. Like, I can't do it for Rimuru, or Shensha, or Furry Shuna, or Protector Piece Rimuru, and I'm not going to dupe them up solely to be able to switch their ults around. And I'm not going to switch Rimuru, Millum, Hinata, Blanc, Jean, Rimuru, Shuna, Millum around, because again, they're DPS characters. They don't want support ults. Carrion, Mirren, sure, they're supports. Technically, you were the DPS of your meta, but we don't talk about that. But as more characters get upgraded, I'm sure that some of them would be useful-ish, but it's not something to dedicate your resources to. They're not making that much of an impact where you're really missing out on anything. 15% here and there, especially for Weakness Strike being one of the lower tiers of support buffs, not a super huge thing unless you're getting a literal fuck ton of Weakness Strike. And I'm talking like hundreds of percents of Weakness Strike. 15% here and there is not going to make too much of an issue for you, especially for not like a sweat in Valor Cup, or sorry, not Valor Cup, but Jubilee. Like, at that point, it's not going to make that much of a difference. So it's a cool concept on paper. How useful is it in practice? I'd say it doesn't really swing the needle all that much. Like, because they have these support alts, it doesn't magically make them better on my tier list when I do it. Like, I'm not even going to factor those in. So, but it is a thing now, so, and you can do it. Like, if you have characters that are level 120, you have some old 5-stars, you have some EX units that you pulled a butt ton of times because they refuse to leave you alone, the option certainly is available to you now. And you can do with it what you want. If you want Jean to be a support alt because you want to make Violet do more damage, sure. go ahead and do it. It's up to you. You can play your game how you want. But from me looking at it, I don't see too much value. It is a nice thing to have. I probably won't find myself doing it very often. But there we go. There's the process. And they said that any characters who receive EX Awakenings in the future will also have this feature already built in. So whatever comes out for the next meta that comes out on the 27th, like whoever gets put into that and gets upgraded, they'll also have this support attack swapping pre-built. So from the here on out, it's going to be a standard thing for all Awakening characters. But let me know what you guys think of this process. Are you disappointed? Are you happy? Let me know your thoughts. But that's it from me. Take it easy, and I'll see you all later.